Hello, everybody. Sorry about it last week. Didn't make an astrology report. The energy wasn't good. I didn't feel good. I got a new meds and I get in some what they call it, happy hour. So have a hard time to get up, wake up. But we adjusting it. My case, my situation. I don't have to explain anymore or making excuses. But I forced myself to make this report. It's a very crucial report, I believe, because specifically about a Mercury retrograde. We talk about a Mercury retrograde. You can go on my channel. You can research the videos I made on Mercury retrograde. I don't want to repeat myself anymore about Mercury retrograde. But specifically, what's going on right now is we're going through changes. From a lot of the people that I talk to who are awakened, they feel this battle of the old and the new. They recognize the old. They even act on the old, but then they change themselves. And they go ahead and they create a counteraction after fixing the tank, what they haven't done in the past. What I mean, the old and the new, Zoet. If you act on the base of your ego, for example, someone act in a certain way, if they yell at you, you yell back. If someone before was performing better than you try to getting to a level of kind of like a prevent so he cannot be better than you. Now you understand they're better than you because they have to be better than you and you can learn from them. That's what I'm talking about. Those are the major changes that people right now will begin to do because of Mercury retrograde in Scorpio is you to see your own darkness. But there's gonna be something happened this week. Mercury is gonna be say because he's returning, he's gonna go back and walk into Libra. That is gonna change a little bit the things because you were going to learn that you have to understand you gotta have a partnerships with everybody. What I mean a partnerships, that is what the Libra represents. It's you to have the understanding. Okay? When two people are talking, they are talking about something, they're about partnership. For example, if you have a personal a relationship with someone, you can go ahead and listen to them. You can go ahead and understand them. You can go ahead and figure out what the issue is, and then you're gonna solve the issue. Not like before, you're running away from the issue and you point the finger, hey, it's your issue, fix the damn thing. No, now you both discussing it and you telling the truth, which is that's what the Libra stands for, is to solve the issue. That's what's gonna be the new energy comes in and fight on the next few days. If that is a professional issue, it's like, you know what, stop. Let's not argue about this. Let's not argue who is right, who is wrong. We have a situation, we need to fix it. How about we put our heads together and let's fix it, which is going to be the team approach instead of the I approach. There is no I in a team. A lot of the people is going to begin to look for this kind of things. Another thing it is that if you're a company pushing the employees so much over and over and over, then it's going to be at some point that it's going to be this, hey, this has got to stop. It doesn't help the employers, but doesn't help the company. We need to do something else. So this is the time of reflection first within the soul, because before you make any changes, before you communicate outward, before you do any actions, okay, the internal change has to be within you. The internal change happens inside of you first. You realize the need of change when the moment is right. And now, since you feel the information, a lot of the people, they acting in this and the information. No, you are learning now. You are learning. You got to be very careful when you learn the things and when you do the things. Some of the people, they don't have a patience and they do the things while they're learning. And guess what? They make more mess than actually they finish the lessons because they do something they're not aware of about it. So, with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and look at the charts for the week. This is for today. So, as today we have the moon, which is in Aquarius. Of course, rebellion. A lot of the people feel like they have to do something, they have to change something, they have to uprise, they have to do something in a good way in order to love to go ahead and do this. Pay attention to this triangle, sort of. It's not actual triangle because it's already broke off. This opposition, which is that intensity, went away. The energies got a little better, but it's still this squaring here, what we call it in the astrology, because here it creates like a 90-degree angle, which is a square. If you look at it, this is a between the Sun and the Mercury, which is there together. Pay attention, they're together in Scorpio. And that's what I was talking about, is this part right here in Capricorn, specifically about the professional areas. We're talking about growth, we're going back to surrounding and see your limitations. These guys, they're moving, going ahead. They're moving towards Aquarius. That's mean that we are going to change. The age of Aquarius is coming. You will see it during November, how the thing is going to be very powerful once Jupiter and Saturn, they begin to enter this. We're going to talk more about this specifically in another video. I'm going to make it down the road. But right now, the way the moon is this rebellion here will affect us so much. And Mars energy towards Jupiter and Pluto, and then the Sun towards Saturn. That's right here. This energy, we are going to feel like we have to move, but it's not the right moment. That's the Sun Saturn square. And we're feeling like, we want to do the actions now, but guess what? It's too early for you to grow. It's too early for you to go and surround yourself with the right situations. And that's why only the love right here, it works. You get the visions from Neptune that sends it to Venus, that it's in Virgo. You healing the past, and you will see that when you're reacting on the right things, that energy here is affecting very well. So this is for right now, this current moment, Monday. As you see it, Mercury is returning back. He is not anymore together with the Sun. And now this dual energy here between the Sun and Saturn and Mercury and Saturn, it's kind of like it's going to be two issues at the same time. You're going to look at yourself, but you're also going to look at your communications. Since this is opposing Uranus, who is in Taurus, that is what the universe does into the material world. So something is not right with the material world inside of you because of lack of understanding, lack of communication. And that's why the lack of communication is deep inside of you, especially if you're treating people with treatment, or what it's everybody else don't understand that excuse me, that is the silent treatment. When you treat people with silence. So the moon, since it moves in Pisces, that duality here, it's gonna be, well, if this is right, if this is true, maybe I imagine, maybe I'm wrong, maybe things are not right. You're gonna get some kind of confirmation that you're in the right place. Uranus is gonna provide that energy to boost. Since this opposition here is too strong, the Uranus is gonna use the internal communications inside of the soul, because that's what the Pisces is, and that energy is going to affect the Sun, and you are going to be enlightened somehow, some way. That's going to be on Monday. Tuesday, As you see it, the moon is moving. Now it's opposing Venus. A lot of problems with love. A lot of problems with stuff that you haven't fixed. A lot of things that, and I'm wrong. It is my partner wrong. If something goes on, what am I doing? Focus on your internal parts inside of you. Instead of pointing the finger towards your partner, why just not point the finger towards you and look at this self-evaluation? Because maybe you're gonna end up in situations the same as if your previous relationships. It doesn't matter if it does a relationship, it's a personal, it's a professional, if that is a relatives or any other type. You have to see that you reacted all the time the same way. Maybe the problem is not the other person, maybe the problem is in you. Have you ever thought about it? And that's why the Mercury, as you see it here, it's going in 0 degrees and 19 minutes into Scorpio. He goes and he's like, look, you two have to work together. Look inside of you. As overnight, Mercury is gonna cross into Libra. Some of you are gonna have guidelines, some of you have downloads, some of you is gonna have a dreams, deja vu, daydreams, premonitions, all kind of sort of those things, and you will see this opposition power with Uranus and Taurus. This and that square here when affect everything. You will feel like the pressure, like everyone is angry, you probably are angry, and the communication is like nothing happened. You pick up your phone, somehow your phone doesn't work. You're trying to get into your computer is getting frozen. You try to talk to someone, if he says, yeah, I'll call you 10 o'clock, it's passing 2 o'clock and nobody calls you, you call back and nobody answers. So it is about you to look inside of you, not to communicate too much with others. So be careful when you communicate with others during this period. It is about to create the pressure to look inside of you, not point the fingers about others. The moon, it's in Aries. The moon is going to help the sun, but it's also is going to be a squaring Venus. And that square here with Venus, that opposition with Venus, I'm sorry, that opposition is going to be internal fight. Internal fight because you do not want to use the soft side of yourself to solve the problems. You're hurt and you don't want to do it. You're angry. The anger comes from Mars. Mars supply all this energy and you're like stubborn as hell. Be careful with this energy that is on Wednesday. Thursday, as you see it, some of the things are changing. The moon right now is not opposing Venus. It's kind of like relieved because you already did this parts inside of you that you decide to go ahead and allow the things to happen on their own. Half aggravations, half of pressures, nothing happens. But you will be tested. The moon and Mars, they're gonna come together. And now our attention will be in the masculine side. What is the anger does? What is the warrior does by himself? He's going to perform. Is the warrior learned what happened in the past few months when the Mars was retrograde? Now it's going to be your test time because that test time will perform about this. As you see at the moon and Mars, they don't have positive aspect. It's all red, it's all squaring. It's all about those 3 planets here in Capricorn, and that affects Mercury retrograde. And this energy here on Thursday, be very, very careful. Here we go. 24 hours past the diagram. It's a little bit different. As a Mercury moves more, and as the moon moves, now we have this T square here. As you see it, the moon, it's continued to provide this feminine energy in the relationship because the moon right now is in Libra, and that energy of Libra is to provide peace, is to tell you calm down, relax, just see the things within your soul, and don't engage within the bad. So whoever listens this is listening to its own intuition. It's listening to the power of love. Venus is its own house in Libra. Now, since the Mercury retrograde is in Libra, that energy of this cardinal sign here of the Libra is going to talk to you. Be careful with your communications with others. What I begin to explain in the video, this energy is going to be filled very, very, very well during this time. To remind you that the timing I took right here, that's at 6 p.m. You can go ahead and create this for yourself to see exact the same diagram wherever time you are in the world. So you can kind of like look at it into. Saturday. As we see that the moon is joining Uranus, our focus will be right here into the material world, what it's manifesting, what is the soul tell us is the right thing to do. Since Uranus is opposing the Sun in Scorpio, let me remind you that Taurus, that it's the money I make, that's the material things I learn, that it's the material possessions I have. Scorpio, on the other hand, that it's in the underworld, that it's the money I use from others, that is a material possessions I control in the others. This also it's the underworld, the darkness. This is the part when you dive deep inside of you and you see what you're doing wrong. So if you borrow money and never return, it's the Scorpio's energy. If you, for example, went to investors, you just took the money and you didn't perform, then that's a Scorpio's energies again. If you kind of like trying to make a quick scheme of money, it all comes in here. Zabit. The good part of the Scorpio is the Scorpio sees the things that nobody else sees. And this is that moment is like it's good to stop and to see the things that you don't see in yourself, because Mercury is a retrograde and Libra, that is the time for internal communications. And that's why I really suggest you go and watch the video Mercury retrograde that I made. You can go to my YouTube channel and you can just on the search you put like Mercury retrograde and you will see it. It's a very good informational videos that will help you. And on Sunday, the energy is getting better. Finally, we having a good day. The moon is gonna help with this material parts to come and get together. As you see it at this moment, Venus, which is in Libra, does not really have an aspect toward the major planets. It's not related into, is not have a really intense power towards it. But the Mercury retrograde, it's still creating this square, which is a cardinal square for cardinal changes. Cardinal means major, something that is take a central place. That is something that you can't just stay in one spot, or it can't be just having a duality to do it or not. No, you have to perform. Doesn't matter good, bad, or ugly, you have to perform. This is the signs that they do actions. They are the action signs, Libra, Capricorn, and Aries. They don't fool around. They're not going to it. For them, it's important to create action. Later on, we'll figure it out was for good, for bad, or it was the greatest learning experience we have. So with that, what I leave you for right now, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I'm looking for your comments. Be love.